we're about to go somewhere odd now. Times to rise and elevation starts to drop down. Our little secret, don't kiss and tell, you're so bad. I'll probably see you in hell. Welcome to hell, baby. This is podcast hell.
Yeah, there is something you should know. Don't fuck up my podcast. This is serious business, man. This is my career. You say one thing that ruins me, and you're done.
It's quite the intro into the podcast.
There's no intro. It's just we're just hanging.
All right.
So
I like the flyer shirt.
Do you like this shirt?
I just noticed it.
You know who likes this shirt a lot?
Jim.
Liz.
Why? Liz a Flyers fan?
I think she likes my barrel chest. And she's like, this shirt like accentuates the upper body. She likes a good upper body.
It has a retro feel.
That's not why she likes it. She likes it because it gets her ready to go. I probably have to cut this out. This kid's saying. Nah, she doesn't listen to the podcast, so we can talk about her the whole time if you want.
Well, I'm excited to start listening to the podcast now that I'm on it.
Well, you didn't listen. Oh, what's up?
Oh, well, Eric didn't mean to interrupt the podcast immediately into the podcast.
Oh, no, it's okay. She can interrupt, dude. It's fine. Nobody.
Well, she wasted no time getting on it.
She, like, off screen, just 40 seconds of us looking over. Do you guys like watch your neighbors?
Yeah, that's exactly what that was. So cranky old lady down there has called the cops on a lot of people, and then I had to yell at her before I called the cops on her because she's really mad about people being loud. And then one time at like 2 o'clock in the morning, she's like having like the loudest phone conversation on her porch balcony. But
she's next to you.
So she's down. So if I like look through, oh yeah,
is she right there?
Yeah. So there's a gentleman so we thought she was cranky because she's lonely, but now there's an old man with the old lady.
Oh no.
So maybe she won't be so cranky anymore.
Yeah, because she's
getting the D from the old man.
She's getting the pipes cleaned, so to speak. So you guys have a battle. You have a battle.
No, not so much. It's more of an Aubrey and I enjoy to observe.
Do you remember when you were in New York staying at my apartment and you would look through my kitchen and it was Paul Mooney making breakfast?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was cool.
He's dead now.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he died.
That's sad. Plot twist.
It's not real. He was old. You think he might have been in his 70s or 80s.
I didn't realize he died.
He died. I mean, think about how long ago that was that we were in New York. That was not yesterday.
That would have been this year, probably 10. That would have been 10 years ago.
Was it really 10 years?
Probably 11.
I was thinking it was like closer to like 15.
No, it would have been around 2012.
Well, you would know.
That it was my life. Yeah, I failed out of college. I remember when it happened.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, but that was a great time in New York.
Dude, it was the best time. That was so much fun. I put that as like my top like 3 months in New York was when you were chilling up there.
I appreciate that.
I was sad, you were sad,
yeah.
But together we were a little less sad.
We were sad together.
We were a little less sad.
No, that was a great time. I felt like for the first time in my life I had actually like gone out on my own. That was that moment.
Yeah. I got you a sweet $10 an hour job cleaning walls.
In bathrooms.
You remember that?
Homeless guy literally pissed all over your bathroom. You were like,
Get on it, buddy.
That's you.
Get on it, buddy.
I was like, God. Yeah, that was the moment where I was like, I need to do something different in my life.
That's a good call to like figure something out.
The decisions I've made have led me here.
Yeah, to your brother ordering you to clean up homeless piss. Yeah.
Do you remember when I scrubbed the walls of was it Simple Studios?
Yeah.
And I scrubbed all the walls and with was it the Mr. Clean? Yeah, Mr. Clean dry erase markers.
So it was, yeah. I remember
sponges,
that. The
right?
magic.
And I'm just taking all the scuffs off the wall, and I remember like you're hyping me up as I'm getting from room to room. You're like, dude, these look great. It's awesome. I get to the last room. I'm almost done with the last room. It's taking me like 3 days to scrub these walls. My shoulder permanently is damaged.
Yeah.
And your boss comes in and is like, he goes, oh yeah, we've been meaning to repaint these. Yeah, we'll probably have to repaint these.
Oh, my God.
And I just looked at him like, you got to be fucking kidding me.
Is your shoulder really messed up?
No. I was being dramatic. My shoulder's fine.
Okay. Yeah, I remember you complaining about it. Well, for a while.
I mean, for 3 days of just scrubbing walls, I'd never switched to my left hand, so that was, user error there. But yeah. That was we had some good moments. We had some rough moments in New York too. We don't got to get into them. But you had. I'm having better experiences in New York now than I did living there.
Well, now you're rich.
Now I have money.
Yeah, now that you have money. I mean, we're in like the fucking Sultan's lair.
I'm by no means rich. I just have a different lifestyle in New York now.
Yeah, you're not sleeping on a inflatable mattress in my living room.
Right.
I mean, like, here's the thing. I was broke and you seemed poor to me. And I had no money. So it was rough.
I was dropping out of college, no money.
Yeah, you were
taking $10 an hour job. So
yeah, it was like here's the thing, man. It was like a reset button. It was for both of us because I was getting out of a bad ship. I had a bad one.
Yep.
Had a rough one. And then you were
dropping out of college. Yeah.
You didn't drop. Did you drop out or were you kicked out? Is that a difference that's worth noting?
I dropped out of college, so I was academically suspended and I never returned, which basically just meant you had to take a semester off.
Yeah.
And I just kind of was like, yeah, I'm not coming back. Just not for me.
Yeah.
And then ended up coming back to Maryland and took a promotion with the company I'd been working for 8 years, had a great time. And that was my transition into, kind of finding where I am now.
Do you think you'll, I was going to ask you if you're ever going to go back to college, but that's going to seem like Dad wrote that question.
But the answer is yes.
You think you are?
I'll finish up.
You should do it if you want to. Like, I don't think it's like there's any like real obligation to do it. It's just if you want to.
Aubrey and I have talked about it. It'll be one of those moments where I find myself established in the job that I'm in.
Yeah.
And I've got that little extra bit of time. That'll be a way for me to have something really big that year. Because I like climbing new mountains. Finding new things to kind of conquer. And I'm really excited about the job that I have right now. And when that becomes a little more consistent, I'm going to get like, okay, well, what's that next thing? I can go back to college, finish up those last couple classes, and get that degree.
That'll be good.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a dad question.
I didn't mean it to be a dad question. I don't give a shit. You gotta. I mean, you're doing well. So it's like, who cares?
Which, by the way, I can't blame Dad for badgering me every time I see him about college. He did spend a crazy amount of money for me to not finish.
I mean, that is the truth. Is like, because he was always like very big on that stuff, and he was paying for it. So when he would be like belittling about it, or like I would just be mad at him for like not letting it go. Like, I graduated in 4 years and he still was on my ass the whole time. And it was like,
maybe that's why you graduated in 4 years.
Yeah. Yes.
If we had it our way, we would have taken our time.
I think it's like, I don't know. It's hard because it's like you don't want to sound ungrateful, and it is cool that he paid for college. But like, when I look back on it now, I'm like, I didn't really need to go to college. Like, there's nothing the only thing I got in college was like 4 years of living and like getting to know myself better and like finding a path. But like, I also could have just found that path probably like having a job. Like, it's not like my degree I don't think opens doors for me and hasn't for a long time.
Now, so what Dad's described to me, and I go back and forth, and this has been a hot topic recently. Aubrey and I had a group of friends over, and we talked about this. And, most of the group was on this fence of college opens doors for people, and not having a degree keeps a lot of doors closed to you that you just will never make it in certain industries without a degree. And I basically said, if you're going to be a doctor, a nurse, you're going to be an engineer, you're going to be a lawyer, those are things that, without a doubt, you need to go to college, you need to get a degree, focus on one thing. But communications, marketing, sales, pretty much every other job out in the world does not really need you to have a degree. And
gender studies.
They do say like, degree mandatory. Yeah. Well, all the jobs I've had since 2013 have demanded degrees, and I've gotten all of them without one.
Yeah, I mean that's the truth. Is like, I think it's person to person. Like, I don't know. Like, I think some people also maybe when they're 18. like they're not ready to make decisions yet for themselves, so they like still need 4 more years of like fake grown up college years. But I mean, I don't know. Like I look at it now very differently, where I'm like, I didn't even have an idea in my head of like I can't not go to college. I was like,
it wasn't an option.
It wasn't an option.
It wasn't even like a 1% of you.
And I only
because it wasn't.
And I only applied to 2 schools that were like.
What was the second one?
JMU.
I didn't know that.
JMU and CNU, and I got waitlisted at JMU, and I got into CNU. And I was like, I'm done, because there were like more schools that I could have applied to, and I was just like, I don't care.
I should have known in the application process that college wasn't for me. I applied to like 10 schools, and like 2 were like.
Which one said yes?
Shepherd and Frostburg.
Okay, is Frostburg a bad school?
Do you want to go to a place where the first word is Frost?
Well, I don't know, but like Jack Frost University.
It's like up in the mountains in Maryland, and
it sucks.
No, it doesn't suck. Jess went there.
Okay, that's
I'm
fine.
like now talking shit on Jess's school.
Does she? I've never heard Jess mention Frostburg.
I don't think she loves Frostburg. No. But I
just think people go to. I think in our age, it's like it was just like. If you had enough, if your parents had enough money to send you to college, you were just like, we have to go to college.
Right.
Because that was just ingrained in people to like, you have to do this. But now like.
Well, even people that didn't have money, it was like a no-brainer to take out a student loan.
Try to do it.
And go to college. Like everybody. I had a lot of friends that took out student loans.
I don't know, like for my wife, Liz, she went to school and did student loans, but she was also in like all these plays and stuff, and it made her, I think, like a better actress, and that's what she wanted to do. Although now she's writing. I wonder if I asked her, she'd probably be like, I shouldn't have gone to college either. I don't know.
Right.
Like I just feel like, I think you're right. It's like if you want to, there's like 5 jobs where you absolutely have to know
what you want to do. Going into college.
And who's like that when they're
I would say
17. You're really 17 when you're applying.
In your case, you're 16
I'm
when
16
you're applying.
when I was applying.
Yeah. You're younger
I
than everyone else.
I was even dumber than the other dumb.
Apparently not to be a grade up.
Yeah. Well, but I didn't like.
I don't think you give yourself enough credit.
They didn't move me
in our family.
They didn't move me a grade up.
We have identified you as the most intelligent of the siblings.
You think so?
Oh, school was easy for you. You barely cared, and you got B's, no problem.
Oh yeah.
If you legitimately applied yourself to education, you would have been a straight A student. But you were like getting by with barely studying for your midterms.
Yes, that's true. I did Adderall.
Eric, I was pulling all-nighters to get a C-. Be like, yes, I did it. Dude, C's get degrees, baby.
I did. So I did. I now like take Adderall, or I guess I don't know what I take something for ADHD.
Okay.
But as a kid, I didn't know I had that. But my freshman year of high school, it was like the gen ed classes, I bought Adderall from some guy just to like, I heard it helped you study.
Yeah.
And so for 3 days, every time I got tired, I would just take an Adderall. So I like didn't sleep for almost 3 days. I remember reading my notes and like I couldn't wait to turn the page. Like I was just so engrossed.
Had like a limitless moment.
Yeah, it was like exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I got like I had straight A's. I had like a 4.0 my first semester freshman year. But then you had to be out of the dorms like 2 days after the last thing. After my last test, I went back to my dorm and I slept for almost 24 straight hours. Like a full day. I pissed the bed and I woke up and I had this crazy stuff. I mean, I just like probably almost OD'd on Adderall because I was just doing it nonstop. And so after that, I got a little scaredy. I was a scared boy.
Well, you abused it. So
and then I what?
You abused it.
I did abuse it.
Yeah,
but I got those grades.
It's like one molecule off from meth. Is what
I mean.
Adderall
Yeah, I
really
did
is.
meth for 3 days.
Well, I was prescribed Ritalin, Concerta, Adderall. Went through them all. And yeah, I can't do it.
You don't do it anymore?
Not at all. It had too big of an impact on me.
Yeah, I'm doing
negatively.
it. So I took it this morning.
Oh, awesome.
I crushed it up and I snorted it off a hooker's ass. The way it's meant to be done.
That's the only.
I'm lying.
Is there any other way?
It was off a hooker's dick.
Oh, gross.
That's how you line it up. You gotta line up.
Yeah,
I think if you're gonna do it, even if you're straight, you have to snort it off a dude's dick. I think that's the way to do it.
That's the only way to do it.
Yeah, you gotta have fun.
I used to help out my college roommate by grinding up his Adderall for him.
That's nice.
Daily, just as a good friend, make
Oh,
sure
yeah,
he's
just
taking a shower, he's getting ready for the day. I'm like, Chad, I gotcha. Don't worry about it.
Saying his name. Is he a big pod listener?
I hope not.
Will he find it?
I hope not.
I think I met. It was the big, tall black dude, right?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
What was that guy's name? Who played on your soccer team?
No, he didn't play soccer, but that was a different person.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember I came up to college a couple times, and we had a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you really come to visit me in college?
I came twice.
You came for my house parties.
Yes, I came twice. I came to 2 different parties.
I threw the parties though.
Yeah,
we didn't go out in the town. You came to my town, college
No, but
town.
I wanted to go out in the town because you would tell these stories about these bars you went to. And
yeah,
how,
they're pretty wild.
Well, it's West Virginia, man. Of course it's wild.
So one of them was doesn't exist anymore, but it's called Altos, and it was 2 double-wide trailers, and they had this bus, a short bus, and they would come and pick you. You would call them up, and they would come and pick you up and take you to the bar so you could get shit-faced. They would do $1 pitcher night from it would be 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock, $1 pitchers at Altos.
Yeah, dude.
And you would just get shit-faced, and then can't remember what other drinks. They had all these weird drinks that they would always serve up. Some horrible food that, of course, we ate constantly.
Yeah.
But, yeah, great environment except for the racism. Yeah, that was...
that makes sense.
Some of our best bar fights were at Altos. So.
And you were on the side of the racist?
You did, Joe. I was the side beating the shit out of the racist.
That was woke 2010 was I beat the shit out of a white guy at a bar in West Virginia.
I mean, it wasn't even woke. It was just any normal human would punch someone in the face for making those kinds of comments.
We were I think I was in Newport News, and it was a mostly black town, so there wasn't as much of that. But the thing I always thought where I went to school, it was not a big enough school where the drinking took over the town. The people in the town mattered more than the college kids that wanted to get drunk. But I remember when I would go to JMU, and there was so many students there that the student body was this town is about our school.
Us. Yeah.
This town is here because of the school, not the other way around. My school very much played second fiddle to the town. So we didn't have any cool a bus comes and picks. I would go get drunk at Cheddar's, and then the waiter would be you guys have had enough, and then we'd have to go drink in our apartment. It was just not as fun. Yeah, it was not as fun to get drunk.
I would say ours
school.
Was the small town but that's the thing though. The town existed before the university, but the university had more students and more people living on campus than in the town. So the town kind of did revolve around Shepherd University.
Yeah.
Great place. Love that spot.
Would you go back to? Would you get your degree from Shepherd, or would you?
That's the only place I'll get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only place I'll get it.
Since you've been gone, has Shepherd become a great school?
To be honest, I don't know. All I do know is I do follow sports, so the sports teams are doing great.
Oh, that's good.
Our soccer program is not doing great, but there's ups and downs. But the football program's always been great. Baseball, all the girls teams, the girls lacrosse, all of them.
Are you guys D3?
D2.
Okay.
Yeah, D2. And basically, the saying used to be, probably still is if you're not going to go D1, you go to Shepherd University. Because we've had quite a few guys that end up going pro.
Now, that was the saying around the world, or just at Shepherd?
No, in this area, Montgomery County area.
Okay.
So, there's a lot of D1 athletes. Kevin Durant literally grew up.
Don't tell people where we are. I have stalkers.
That's all right. That's all right.
Montgomery County, Arizona.
But yeah, so this region has tons of professional athletes come out of it, and football wise, because there's huge private schools in this area.
Joe Namath.
I
made that up.
No.
You were going to agree though.
Maybe. I was I don't know. Did you know that?
No. I don't know.
You also grew up here.
I did grow up here.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't grow up here. I grew up in DC or whatever.
I could throw a baseball.
Northern Virginia. It's far, dude.
It's not that far.
It's far.
I'm telling you right now, to get to the bridge to where you're saying you grew up, 7 minutes from here.
Okay, well, we're in Bethesda right now.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
well, you just perfectly labeled us for the stalkers.
Sorry.
But yeah, so we're this region, a lot of athletes.
Yeah.
Keeping up with their sports programs is actually kind of fun.
Dude, CNU, my school, won the men's they won the national title for D3
for
basketball.
Oh,
I didn't even realize it happened 3 months ago. They hit a buzzer beater.
I don't think anybody realized.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. I wanted.
But they hit a buzzer beater?
They hit a buzzer beater.
That's exciting.
And they beat that school that always wins in football for D3. I always forget their name. It's like not Mount St. Mary's. Oh, fuck. I can't remember. Whatever. It doesn't matter. But they beat.
I do love me some Mount St. Mary's, by the way.
It's not Mount St. Mary's.
But I do love Mount St. Mary's.
What's the Division III team that wins the championship every year in
I couldn't
football?
tell you. Don't know.
They're
D3.
black and gold colors. Come on.
The only other D3 school I can think of is Salisbury, but they win.
It's
lacrosse.
not Salisbury.
They win lacrosse.
I should see. This is where I should have like a researcher. Aubrey, can you pull open your phone and see who the CNU men's basketball team beat? Yeah, that's okay. You just it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I can't remember the name, but anyway,
Her phone was in there. That's why she went back.
That's fine. I don't care.
So she's.
Do you know how many
she's gonna
people?
pull it up.
Do you know how many people actually watch this podcast? Guess my numbers.
50.
50. The last, you hear my voice just starts going. I had like a.
You said 50.
I was like fearful.
Was I low or was I high?
You're a little low.
Okay, well.
So the first episode on YouTube has 74 views so far.
Okay.
Oh.
How many podcasts have been out?
Well, the podcast gets like 200. The last one got like 200 listeners.
Right.
It was like just for audio, but I'm trying to get people to go to YouTube. I want the YouTube.
So
to go.
you're saying this podcast goes on Spotify?
This podcast goes everywhere.
Okay.
Anywhere you get your podcast. But yeah, it gets more. It's just because like in the beginning I didn't do it on YouTube at all, so I think I built up most of my listeners on just audio.
Okay.
But now I'm trying to get them to transition over to YouTube. YouTube is the place if you want to.
Well. Yeah, YouTube is. Are you looking it up right now? Division III football.
CNU.
National champions.
CNU men's basketball.
Oh, basketball.
Basketball, yeah. And they beat some team that wins football championships all the time. But I just wish I went to a school. I wish I went to like Tech or something. Like that's the only to me that's the real reason to go to college is to get drunk and your team beats Alabama while you're there. Are you
doing the classic? You're wishing for something because you didn't have it.
Of course.
Because at the end of the day,
that's the only reason you ever wish for anything.
You became a big fish in a little pond.
Yeah.
Where if you had gone to Virginia Tech, you would have been a small fish in a big pond.
Yeah, but I know that, but like, sure.
But you started your own fraternity. You became the president of that fraternity.
I wasn't the president of fraternity. I was just a guy.
You were just a guy that people still chant your fraternity name.
Were you there when that happened?
That was cool. And I was young.
I
was very young when that happened. But people were like, San Dimas. I'm like, who the hell
people
are they
thought
talking
that
about? And Eric's like, oh, God, paparazzi again.
I don't think I've ever talked about that on the podcast before. But people didn't even know my name.
Like, you have a family. You are a family household name at CNU to this day.
Yeah, which is weird.
I don't know.
Maybe not though.
Weird's not the word I would use. I think it's very cool.
But I don't know if that's still the case because I don't like check up on them.
There's no way that it went from where it was when we saw that. That was probably 6-7 years ago.
It was when Anna graduated.
Oh, was it Anna's graduation?
It was Anna's graduation.
That would have been a lot longer ago.
Isn't that crazy?
That would have been. That would have been about 8 years.
It's about 8 years.
Yeah, 8 years ago. We're at Anna's graduation, and you got somebody that recognized you who's like an infant. This is a child that's basically still in college.
They would have been like 10 when I was in college.
Right.
Started chanting Dimas, and I was like, what? And it was like when I was there, they didn't even have like a fraternity row, but then they made one, and it used to be like like a dorm where my friends used to live. We used to go get drunk in the dorm, and then it became the fraternity row, and we were walking past it. And they have my photo up in this house.
Yeah.
So like all these people like recognize my face, I guess. But like I hadn't been to the school in like like 8 years or whatever. So it was crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess like, I mean, look, you're right. It was small fish, but that's when you say like, am I wishing for what I didn't have? Yeah, that's all wishing is. Nobody ever has something and goes, this is awesome.
That's exactly what I do. That's exactly what I do all the time.
You go, this is awesome.
I can't stand wishing for things I don't have or things
that's
that
that's the definition of wishing.
No, for me, it's
just,
like wishing.
You're just grateful?
That I become, my wishes are for like aspirations of things I could grab.
Yeah.
I don't wish for things that are no longer possible. Like, oh, I wish I had gone to a different school. Or wish I never went to college.
Well, now I'm getting advice from fucking Oprah. Who did they beat? Mount Union.
Okay.
You've never heard of Mount Union
I have
before?
heard of Mount Union. I just forgot that they're
I know. And they're actually
powerhouse.
and they're actually, I think they're black and purple is their colors.
Jeez, that's impressive. If they are black and purple, can you look up their uniforms? They're black and purple.
They're black and purple.
Impressive.
I think they're the Mount Union Raiders, I think is their name.
Aubrey, fact check him.
I know. I was thinking the other day, like, what am I actually an expert in? And it's like sports, the colors of sports teams, like their uniforms and how they used to look, and comedy, and that's it. That's like all.
I would agree with you on that.
And then there's things I'm good at, but I don't like. I'm good at sales, like I'm good at comedy. But I don't know how good I would be like talking about it or like giving lectures on it. Like, what could I actually stand at a podium and give like an educated thing
like
on?
a conference. You're a speaker at a conference.
If there's ever a conference that's like, what type
jersey colors?
What type of uniforms? When did the Patriots switch from the guy hiking the ball on their helmet? I could be like 84. I could know stuff like that.
Yeah.
But then if someone was like, what's the second line of the Gettysburg Address? I would have to jump out a window. What are their colors?
Wow.
Yeah. Nailed it.
And it's the Raiders. Aubrey's crouching but still seen by the camera.
Thank you.
My skill set, and I think Aubrey can back this up, is faces. So when we're watching TV shows, I'll immediately see a face, it'll be an extra or somebody. I'll be like, that's somebody from this specific movie
that's
from the 90s. And it's like, you're talking about a 20-year gap.
You're 27 minutes.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's like huge gap in time. They don't even look the same, but the eyes, I don't know what it is. And she's always like, we pause it. She's like, that's not them. Is it them? I don't know. And then we look it up.
It's a good skill to have because, like, depending on how famous you are in Hollywood, you age very differently. So, like, if it's an extra, it's somebody like, like working actors, then they age like normal human beings.
Right.
But if it's like a famous person, they age like a cat. And you're like, you're like, I think that's.
In most of the scenarios that this happens, where it's like, I remember somebody from the 90s, it's most often they weren't famous in the 90s, and now they've become famous. So over time, they started aging slower because now they're filthy rich and they're rubbing Tom Cruise's oils on their faces.
Do you think Tom Cruise? I'm a big Cruise guy.
I'm a huge Cruise movie watcher, not a big Tom Cruise fan.
I like him as the man.
He's a little crazy.
Here's the thing: we only have a couple more years until the things he's done come to light, and once that happens, we don't get any more Tom Cruise movies. So I think we should just enjoy what we get now, and like just know like eventually the women will come forward, the young boys, whatever it is, whatever his poison is, probably both. And we're not going to, that'll be the end. But he still made Top Gun.
Top Gun was great.
Top Gun, the new one, was great.
And you would think that remaking an awesome movie like Top Gun was going to just bomb. And I thought it was great. To be honest, on some levels, I thought it was a little bit better. The action scenes were amazing.
I don't even remember the end of the first Top Gun. Like, I've watched it, but I'm like, who cares? Like, it's fine. Like, I remember Goose dying, and I remember...
Oh, spoiler alert.
Oh, sorry.
Just kidding. The movie came out in like the 80s. So if you didn't watch it, that's on you.
You don't have to spoiler alert these people.
I don't know. It's just a moment where the big character dies in a movie.
Okay.
It ends with him not winning Top Gun.
Oh, yeah. Who does Ice win?
Ice wins Top Gun because
Ice is not the bad guy in Top Gun.
Well, he plays the villain,
but he's not a villain at all.
He plays the villain in the new one. Clearly, you realize.
No, in the new one, he's not. He's good. But in the first one, he's also not bad. Like we rewatched it. After we saw Maverick, I was like, I should go back and watch the first one.
Oh, like the advice he's giving?
No, he keeps going like, you're reckless up there. Someone's going to die. And then someone dies. Everything he says is accurate. And he's not a villain. He's just a guy going through school being like, Maverick's a dick.
Well,
Maverick is a dick. And Maverick is crazy. And by the way, there's no this is the other thing. There's no Maverick fighter pilots. If you're a fighter pilot, you're a fucking nerd who does exactly what you're told because those are $1 million like jets paid
They're
for
like
by
$500 million.
Yeah, you can't like nobody's like fucking improvising up there in real life. So so Ice is like he's not a villain.
He's the challenger.
He's just
here's the Oprah in me. In the drama triangle, there's characters. There's the villain, there's the victim, and then there's the hero. The hero is not a good thing. The villain's not a good thing, and the victim's not a good thing. And they can be converted into something completely different.
Yeah.
Villain becomes a challenger, which instead of being a villain, they're almost motivating someone. They're challenging someone to be better than they are, which is exactly what Ice was in that movie.
Yeah.
The victim becomes the creator, somebody that's got creative ideas and shares and implements things rather than feeling like things are happening to them. And then the hero, instead of giving people temporary relief and doing things for them to make them feel better about themselves or doing everything on their own, they become the coach and they start showing people how to do stuff. So that's how you switch in the drama triangle. There's my Oprah moment.
Oh, yeah, that's good. I don't know if Oprah does that though.
I don't know.
Oprah
preaching.
Oprah tells women what books to read. And
I don't read books.
Oprah's old show was wild. Original Oprah was just like Maury Povich. Like all those crazy, like you fucked my sister.
Yeah.
While I was pregnant, like it was that for years, and then she just was the best at that, and then eventually she started like interviewing people when they fucked up.
And she hired Dr. Phil.
Yeah, Dr. Phil's great. I've actually like come around a lot on Dr. Phil. Like I'll watch his show sometimes.
I don't think I've ever watched an episode of Oprah. Don't think I've ever watched an episode of Dr. Phil.
You should check out DP.
R.I.P. Jerry was a big Jerry Springer fan.
Oh yeah.
I hope I didn't just misspeak and misspoke.
Misspoke about liking Jerry Springer.
No, he did pass away, didn't he? Recently.
Yeah, he died.
I thought so.
Yeah,
I was a huge Jerry Springer fan. Huh?
No.
Jeez.
He got his head cut off. It's on YouTube.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did.
But like classic sick day in like late 90s, early 2000s, Jerry Springer, because it was something I wasn't supposed to be watching. Like that was.
Yeah, I would watch.
That was an awesome show.
Yeah, when you were like sick, not you, but when I was sick home, like the shows, I would watch old. I would put on like movies because remember like we had like the Shrunk downstairs with all the VHSs.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking about
I did that too.
Yeah,
for maybe a different reason.
What was your reason?
I would put in all the tapes that Dad would fast forward through certain sections.
Oh, you put in the sex scenes?
Yeah, like Titanic, first pair of boobs I ever saw.
Oh yeah,
because Dad would always fast forward through the.
And what was always funny, I remember there was a dance scene in True Lies where Jamie Lee Curtis. Yeah, I used to fucking.
Where she's like kind of like nerdy.
I used to crank it out.
Yeah. I would do the same thing to Starship Troopers.
What's the scene in that one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's a sex scene.
There's a sex scene, but there's also a shower scene.
That girl's hot too.
She's very hot.
I like.
She was in a lot.
She was in a lot, and I like looked her up recently.
That's a person that's like I've seen them before.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
That's that face of like she's not super famous in Starship Troopers. She's a character.
Yeah.
But then you see her, now in her 50s, still in Hollywood in a movie as like a background extra. And I pause. I'm like she's from Starship Troopers.
Yeah, she's like
I jerked off to her.
I think
20 years ago.
I think she still acts, but she also I think she's like a celebrity. She's or not a celebrity. I think she's like a chef now or something. She found a second thing in life that she does a lot of.
That's awesome.
And now acting has become like a second thing. But yeah, she's a babe.
Stay at home, sick days.
What was funny?
Going to all the movies Dad would fast forward through.
Yeah,
that's what I was doing.
I remember what was fun about that is then when we would like put the movie on as a family later on, like you'd start to get to the point in the movie where you jerk off a lot, and the tape would be a little scrambled leading up because you rewound it just to, and so like it would be like I'd be like, I hope we start to fast forward soon, otherwise
it's like right when that scene comes up and Dad's supposed to fast forward, your name pops up on this television.
I used to
what? Huh?
There's a scene in Batman Forever where Nicole Kidman's like tied up by the Riddler, and she's like, "Batman will come for me." And I used to go to town on myself.
You're a big Batman guy.
I'm a big Batman guy, and that part of the movie was destroyed. Like if you just watch it, it would go like Batman will, like it was like it looked like somebody dipped the film in acid. I watched it so many times. Oh my god, dude! Yeah, those are the good days. I miss, dude. I remember like even like you remember what's the Sandlot movie? Like
Wendy Peppercorn.
Well, we had it on. I was gonna say like. We even had it on the video where they played like that Pizza Hut ad before the movie started.
Oh yeah,
where he's out in the outfield, the game's dragging on, and there's like a kid who sucks and he catches the ball.
Yeah,
like even that. Like I think about that once a week. I think about
that commercial.
I think about that commercial before the Sandlot movie with the kid picking dandelions in the Little League game. It's like that stuff just imprints on you. It's like it's weird how little moments like that or little things you just watched over and over again. Like,
well, as you were saying that, a moment that I remember was like Blockbuster, for example. Like the moment was like in my mind when you were saying that was my moment was how cool it was that we had a Blockbuster right next to a 31 Flavors,
a Baskin Robbins,
Robbins, and the fact that you worked there.
Yeah.
So it increased the amount of movies that we watched because one, I think it was like Mom would try to pick you up after your shifts. So we would she would send us into the Blockbuster. It was just the coolest system of like send the kids into Blockbuster, they come out with a movie. Then we get some ice cream, we go home, pick our brother up from work.
How did we?
That was awesome.
How did we navigate the Blockbuster? Did we do like a movie for the boys, a movie for the girls, or would we fight over it? I can't really remember how.
First off, we fought over everything.
Yeah, and
I think Mom and Dad tried to do like an even, like, okay, last time it was a girl movie, this time it's gonna be the boys movie. But it was like, NATO, where we're like trying to figure out our allies.
It was a real,
Where like there was times where like you were saying a movie and I would like kind of nod my head like, yeah, I'm with you, bud. But really behind your back, I got Stephanie and Anna on a Power Rangers kick. And Eric's dumbass thinks we're going to be watching Ninja Turtles. And I'm like, oh, he doesn't know what's going to hit him. We get to this checkout line and all of a sudden alliances have shifted. It's like a Survivor thing where you think we're allies.
And then every once in a while I'd go a little gay on you and I'd go to the girls and be like, Anna Green Gables.
Let's get it.
Do it. Fuck Christian. We would. No, like that's true. Like there was like kind of like you could kind of find different allies.
Who was the weak link, who didn't really care what we were gonna watch.
That's good. And
Anna was always the weak link. Anna was moldable.
Well, she was young. She was also young. We can't judge her too much.
I used to bribe her a lot.
I was gonna say Anna was bribable.
Yeah, candy.
Yeah.
I'd be like, hey, I'll do your chores for a couple days and then never do her chores.
I did that to Stephanie. I would offer things outside of the realm of movies.
Yeah,
so that we could watch Terminator.
Same thing with restaurants. Do you remember how much we used to fight over where we were gonna go eat?
Yeah, I do think like it's such an interesting thing, like versus like these like kids with just like single kids.
Well, single kids are even two kids.
They just don't have to. You don't have to negotiate stuff the way that we did. I think it just makes you. It makes you better at handling disappointment.
We were disappointed constantly.
Yes, it's
because we never got our way. It felt like we never got our way.
Well, I remember Mom and Dad when we would open presents, they'd be like, "Remember, that's for everybody." Like when I would open my presents, they'd be like, "That's for everybody." And I'd have to share my presents on Christmas. I tell that to other kids now. They're like, "Fuck that!" Like that's my present. Or like I'll watch like a kid not share, and the parent will be like, "That's their toy." It was not like that. Like you guys always took my crap.
Well, I felt like the opposite. I felt like
you don't share.
I felt like there it is.
Yeah, I mean,
it came out.
You got a real. I don't share my shit thing in you. Yeah, like your whole food thing is so fucking crazy.
The food thing is not crazy.
It's
and I talk to Aubrey
crazy.
about it all the time because I share my food with Aubrey. I love sharing my food with Aubrey, and the difference is that
You guys fuck?
Aubrey doesn't. Well, yes, but Aubrey doesn't take from me.
Well, how does
Aubrey doesn't take from me. Aubrey is somebody that provides things in my life.
Yeah, I provide.
My siblings took from me. They stole from me. They were constantly asking for what was mine to be theirs.
Come on.
It was constant. I didn't want. You also had a knack for ordering the worst thing on the menu constantly. We'd be at like a diner, and you'd be ordering like whitefish.
Yeah.
I'd be at a diner getting fucking pancakes. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. Why are you getting fish? And then looking at my chocolate chip pancakes being like, ooh, could I get a bite? No, don't touch my food.
Hey, man, I'd give you a bite of my whitefish.
Yeah, I didn't want any.
Get some morning whitefish.
The fact
Why's it got to be white?
The fact that the whole family thought I was ridiculous for not wanting to share the plate of food.
It was just you were out of step with the rest of us because the truth is like, I think in a family like that, there's 6 of us.
The girls shared everything.
The girls shared everything.
They always shared.
And I here's the other thing, man. Like you can say I ordered bad food, but I'm also very generous with my I'm like if people are can I have a bite? I'm like have the whole thing. I don't care, even if I'm hungry. Like I am just very in that mode of like it's food. Take whatever you want. Like I can always make more, or I'm gonna eat again. Like I'm into sharing food. That's why having celiac sucks because I can't really do that the same way as I used to. But yeah, you were a little fucking.
But do you think was I ever asking for food off other people's plates?
I don't. That's something I don't know. Like
I'll tell you right now, I don't want food off other people's plates. I never have. Aubrey tries to share her food with me, but I really just don't want it.
That's so interesting.
I share my food with her when I can tell she seems interested in what I have on my plate.
Why can't you accept love?
I accept love very well.
Why can't you accept love?
I just don't want food off other people's plates. Just
Why?
It's again, you're talking about when I was a little kid. So it wasn't something that was, my environment, because my environment was everyone shared food. Yeah. Maybe it was I hated it so much, my environment, where everyone was always picking at each other's food, that I got excited when I ordered my food. Well, that's the only thing I wanted. I didn't want anything else. I just wanted, and it was like, back then it was like chicken tenders and French fries. And then there's a bite goes to Eric, a bite goes to Anna, a bite goes to Stephanie. Then there comes the daddy tax of 40% of all my food goes to dad.
When you call it a daddy tax.
That's what it was. You remember that?
It was a dad tax. Don't call it a dad. Don't call it a daddy.
He didn't call himself the dad tax. He said it was the daddy tax.
He didn't say daddy. He said it's dad tax.
Hey,
daddy is so much creepier than dad.
Aubrey, give a quick text message to my sisters and verify daddy tax or dad tax.
It was dad tax.
Just text them.
First off,
did Fred say daddy tax?
Daddy tax sounds like we were all molested. It was dad tax.
It was not the dad tax.
It was the dad tax.
It was the daddy tax.
It was the dad tax.
It was not, but I do remember
Aubrey.
This. She's texting right now. I guarantee it. So she'll get an answer from one of the girls. They're awake. But I used to start out my meal with the tax.
With the text, Aubrey, don't lead. Don't go, was it the daddy tax? Say
no, say one or the was it the dad or daddy tax?
Well, say was it daddy tax or dad tax? Put dad tax second, because psychologically people are more likely to choose the second option.
And I think that's fair. If Eric wants the psychological advantage, we give it to him. And when both say daddy.
Or here's the thing to say. It wasn't daddy. God, the sound of that is bothering me.
You're blocking it out.
It wasn't. Maybe I am. It wasn't daddy. And maybe just, Aubrey, say, what did dad used to say when he would take a bite of our food? What did he call it? Oh. Okay. Well, whatever.
What'd you send?
See, you have the advantage.
Oh, well.
She put your option second.
Well, when they both agree and there's 3 against 1, you blocked it out.
I'm telling
buddy.
you, it's the dad tax. If it's the daddy tax, I'm gonna blow my brains out in the podcast. Daddy tax.
But I used to start my meals out with the tax so that I knew everything that was on my plate was going to be mine.
Yeah.
And I think he didn't like that. I think he liked the tax coming when he wanted it, and I'd be like, "Dad, take your tax," and he'd be like, Nah, you can have it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna do that kind of stuff if I have kids. When I have kids, I don't think I'm going to.
I'm taxing.
You're taxing?
Yeah.
All right.
Molded me into the man that I am today.
Well, I'm definitely not calling.
I understood the concept of a tax. I
I'm
really
calling
didn't
it,
get that.
I'm calling it.
You know, he taxed us on our lemonade stand.
Did he really?
It was. I mean, he was teaching the whole concept of why Anna and I did the lemonade stand was to teach us about money because we had no concept. I remember it was something about we were asking for things that were really expensive and we just didn't understand. So he's like, okay, you know, let's get you guys some money. I'm gonna buy you drinks, and then you're gonna sell them. And then you're going to keep the profits. And we're like, great. Okay, I kind of understood what that meant. I was going to get some money out of this. I got my rollerblades on. We set up a stand. I made a sign, and I rollerbladed on the bike path. So we had this lemonade stand on the bike path. Anna and I killed it. We did a great job all day. We sold all the drinks. But I would rollerblade really far up to let people know the lemonade stand's coming up.
Yeah.
Well, we sold all the drinks, and Dad's like, 30% of all of this profit goes to taxes. And we're like, what the hell's a tax? Let's hear it.
What?
Said, actually, a great question. Dad tax, finally.
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
Daddy.
So the fact that you made it daddy tax in your mind, Christian, what's going on? What's going
What's
on
wrong
here?
with the word daddy?
Daddy is the worst word ever. It's the worst word.
I think
it's the worst word. You know, you said a thing one time that me and Liz still joke about.
Let's hear it.
You know what you said.
I don't know what I said.
I've laughed about it so many times with you. Where you, I can't remember what we were talking about. This is pre your lovely lady now. And you were like you went like, daddy likey, like you're talking about yourself. You go, daddy likey. And then I was like, oh, and then you went, daddy wanty. And I almost shat out of my eyes. It was the grossest thing.
I do remember that.
Daddy wanty. And I now like jokingly say that to Liz.
I was about to say.
You say daddy wanty.
Yeah, daddy likey.
Daddy likey. Daddy
Well,
wanty.
you know where it came from.
Daddy wanty?
Well, that I changed it, but it came from Chris Farley.
But what line?
Tommy Wingy.
Oh yeah,
you know.
Tommy want wingy.
yeah.
You know, I was just talking with Liz about this. Like, why do like guys when we're young we just quote movies to each other? Like we just quote funny
I do it
lines
nonstop. I'm not young anymore, and I still do it.
So I've stopped doing it. I do it a little, but I feel the urge to do it all the time. Like with Liz, like I'll just like want to quote a sketch from SNL or Will Ferrell or a movie. Like that was all my friends did when we were younger. And I was like, what is that? Because girls don't do that.
I did it this morning with Along Came Polly.
I think this is what I think it is. I think it's like we guys like evolutionarily like want to be funny because it's like it's a good way to attract women. So we're like trying to be humorous,
but because we can't make up our own lines, we repeat funny lines from movies.
That's what I think. No offense, but I think part of the reason I might have stopped doing that
is you're actually funny.
Well, no, but I also like do it I make money doing it. So it's different. Like I
wasn't being sarcastic, by the way.
Oh no, but
Yeah.
I do think it's like, because when I hang out with you or I hang out with like my friends from high school, we'll go right back into quoting movies because like they're like, this is still how we're funny, and I'm like, yeah, it is fun to do that, but I'm like, I do it less, I think, because I do this kind of crap, but it feels like girls don't do that as much. Like they don't feel the need to like make their friends laugh. I don't know. Maybe I'll have a woman on this podcast in a year or two and I'll ask them.
Have you only done the podcast with guys so far?
It's like guys and then Liz is every third episode. When somebody cancels.
But Liz is funny. Liz is very funny.
Liz is very funny.
So is Liz the type of girl when she was growing up that was quoting movies?
No. And she's annoyed. So this is what she got mad at me the other night because she goes, I did quote a line and she like rolled her eyes and I went, what? I can never quote a line? Sometimes you want to talk about Office episodes, and she's like, it's different the way you quote lines. And I was like, give me one. Just give me one right now. Like, just say a funny line from a movie from when you were a kid. Then we can just laugh about how funny that was and enjoy the memory of when we saw that movie. And she goes, all that's coming to mind is something my high school boyfriend used to quote. And I go, what was it? And she goes, Baxter, you know I don't speak Spanish. And I just started laughing. I was like, this is English, please. It's so funny. And she's like, don't you dare. I'm like, it's fucking funny.
That's a great line.
That was like all comedy.
Good high school boyfriend.
Yes, that was like, that's a solid high school boyfriend. That is just what it is to be a guy in high school. But I can understand why it's annoying for girls, I guess, because our delicious. Comedy, they are the target of our comedy. We're trying to make them think we're funny so we can like date them and stuff. And they're judging. They're like, that's not funny. That's not funny. This guy just quotes movies. Oh, this guy's sometimes funny by himself. Okay, you're funny. I'll make out with you. Like it's like a little bit of remember Patrice O'Neill has a bit about how women are like the beef eaters in London, just guarding the castle. Like, you're not gonna get through, and you have to charm your way in.
With Aubrey, I definitely try to be funny. I think there's times where I'm trying to get a laugh, and I think what's most frustrating is when I'm not trying to be funny is when I really get her. Well, that's like, and it's like she shares it with her family, and I'm like, I was being serious. I'm dead serious. I wasn't making a joke. And
the funniest things,
my least funny things seem to be apparently the funniest.
The funniest things Dad's ever said to me are things that he's screaming at the top of his lungs, 100% serious. And they're like verbatim the most hilarious
things. I think
things.
the same with Mom too. Mom's the funniest when she's not trying to be funny.
Yes, because it's like
Mom says some pretty great material.
Yeah, it's also like you get a little bit older. I think you start to like let it go. You start to.
Where do you think your comedy comes from? Like, is it just organic Erick Hellwig only, or do you think if you had to pick a side, where it came from, Mom or Dad? Do you think it was your childhood?
I think it's my childhood. I think it's like, I think it's my childhood. I think it's like moving around a lot. Like, I had a different childhood from you. Like, I'm old enough to have been much more.
I still moved around a lot.
You did, but like, I don't think that's the formative. Like, when you think of your life, you don't go like, I was in so many schools.
No, I do. I tell that to people
constantly.
You
really do?
Well, that's the thing is like what you guys don't realize is you went through a different move. You went through a military move. I went through a divorce move.
Yeah,
you were gone.
But we went through
when we got to Poolsville, which was the end of it. But like,
I was still there for most of the divorce move too.
I know, but like, I was moving to grandparents' house. You were staying with Dad, so that was one less move.
I still lived at Grandma and Grandpa's house too, though. Like so.
But that's what I'm saying.
This is the part where we just talk about our parents getting divorced. But I
literally went from school to school to school. So there was a 6-year gap where I went to 6 different schools in 6 years. So that alone, from elementary school into high school, 6 schools, 6 years. And then I went to John Poole Middle School, and then I went to Poolsville High School, which it was in the same town, but new school, again. More kids.
Oh, so in that case...
I literally went to 7 schools over the course of 8 years.
Okay. Because I did the same thing up until 8th grade.
It was different in kind of the way, but...
It was mine... Yeah, I think mine was... Yeah, I think mine was different in that, like... You still had more of, I would say, like, I think you still had like a core of kids that you would say you grew up with for the majority.
Just the high school though, but for you, you didn't move schools in the divorce. You stayed at O'Connell. I moved because it was easier for me to go to Kent Gardens. I went from Cunningham Park to Kent Gardens, and then I went to a different middle school. And then Mom moved us to Poolsville, went to a different middle school again, then went to a new high school. So I moved from school to school to school during the divorce because I was the only one. I think I was like the easy maneuverable one where Anna wasn't going to change, Stephanie wasn't going to change, and Eric. She had to keep him in high school, but Stephanie went to the Vienna middle school. So remember, she used to do that crazy carpool. Just a bomb of a mother to drive 4 kids to 3 different schools over the course of like 30 miles.
Junior, senior year of high school, I started doing some of that.
Yeah.
Like, I started picking you guys up from school because it was like...
You took care of Anna and I driving because O'Connell was on the other side where Mom took care of Stephanie.
That was a wild time.
It was.
That was a wild time for like to be in the family.
Yeah.
Like we were definitely, we were figuring it out month to month. It felt like with all that
sure.
stuff.
I think I squeezed all the juice I could out of that situation. It's maybe also just kind of like my makeup of my brain, but I remember being like, divorce isn't so bad. Dad takes us to mini golf and to movies every time we see him now. He gets Wednesdays and every other weekend. So every Wednesday, Dad'd be like, what do you guys want to do? And I would squeeze him. I'd be like, why don't we go mini golf? Like, why don't we go to Pizza Hut? Why don't we do all my favorite things? And because he had us for a short period of time, he wanted to like be the cool dad.
Sure.
And I got like a really awesome experience with Anna out of that, which was every time he saw us on Wednesdays, we were doing something awesome.
I mean, look, I'm happy for you.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I've heard people, like, that's the joke, like, 2 Christmases or whatever. Like I get.
That's a nightmare, though.
Yes, but you get what I'm saying. Like, that's like the whatever, the version that people say where they're like, oh, how bad is it really? Like, you have 2 parents that are fighting for your attention.
Right.
But, like, yeah, I think, whatever. It sucked for the olders.
I'm not saying it was great for us. Again,
it wasn't.
I was
but
moving
I think
constantly.
I think when you're younger, you probably get to like you said, you probably get to focus on some of that other stuff. It's cool. I mean, it's always fascinating just to be like, we're not that different in age, but like the experience is very different.
Well,
even
just
like,
know Anna had more of your experience, not entirely, but Anna didn't have the positive outlook. It did kind of weather her a little bit.
It's weird. It's because I would have.
We were 18 months apart, but we were kind of processing it completely different.
Exactly.
I just think at the end of the day, kind of like my style of things is like I'm always just kind of a silver linings. To a bad degree too. Sometimes where I'm like in a bad situation, but yet I'm trying to figure out like, oh, what good thing is happening to me in this horrific incident. Where it's like, hey, you should sit down and really take a look at what's going on here.
Cry.
Yeah, I don't.
You should just cry sometimes.
Yeah, no.
So little tears.
Yeah, no. I got my crying out last week.
Oh man, Jakey.
Yeah.
Good pup.
Great dog.
Great dog. Family dog. I took a bereavement day at work.
Did you?
Yeah, the day after because I was just like I was fucked up.
I took it the day of.
Yeah, well, you did a cool thing. You did the thing where like someone's, our dog was dying. This is for the listeners.
He had cancer.
We know. So yeah, he's an old dog. So he was dying. How old was he? He was like 14.
No, I want to say 13.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good
for a
age
lab,
for a dog.
And they gave him when they diagnosed him with cancer, they gave him 6 months, and he lived 10. And realistically, we could have allowed him to live longer. He probably would have lasted a year.
But he was just
suffering.
It was not.
He just was in pain.
But no, I was gonna say you did the right thing. Like you were the person that was like hanging out with him all day, so he wasn't alone. And like I call and you put the phone up to him, and I'm like goodbye. Like all those moments. Like to do that, you have to be. It's just standing in front of the emotional train and like letting it hit you over and over again. Mm-hmm. And it's like you have to have a certain only a certain type of person I think can do that. It's not easy for everyone to do that. And I was like, if I was home, I would have done it too. But like, I was happy that you did it, so that it's not just for Jake; it's for everybody else that like needs to process it. You know?
Yeah, I would agree with that. Also, big shout out to Tucker. Tucker was important.
Tucker was there too. Yeah.
And
shout out Tucker.
Yeah, shout out to Tucker.
TB.
And to be honest, the reason I felt like it was so nice having Tucker there was because of Sam. Sam was really like his dog, him and Jim's dog.
Yeah.
And Jake was kind of like my dog. Sam was a yellow lab, Tucker's a blonde boy, Jake's a black lab, Christian's got black hair, and Sam slept in Tucker's room. Jake slept in Christian's room, and every morning when we'd get up, Tucker and I at the time were working the same job, so we would go to work at the same time. We'd get up in the morning, as we left our bedrooms, which were across the hall, the dogs would greet each other just like Tucker and I would, like, oh, good morning, man.
Yeah,
and there's the dogs sniffing each other.
I love that.
And when Sam passed away, that was definitely rough for Tucker, and for Tucker to be there for me when Jake was passing away it was really nice.
Did you guys bond over that a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. Just catching up with him the whole day was really nice. Definitely. I mean, it's hard not to have it as a bonding moment when it wasn't a childhood dog. We were adults when we got the dog. I mean, Tucker was 17. I think I was 18.
Yeah.
But a dog of our adolescence, and also kind of like the end of an era. You know, Jake was the last of that pair of Jake and Sam. But definitely awesome to have Tucker there. The experience was different. I've never done that with a pet, and it was rough. But I watched some videos and motivational talks, and somebody said something that was like really hit me, which was the best thing about pets is that they're not there for the entirety of your life, that they are special because they're not forever. And if dogs lasted longer than us, it wouldn't be as special. But
that's why, like, when people have toucans, they could give a fuck about them, because the birds live to be like 90. Forever. They live longer than people,
right?
So you just keep it in a cage. It's a bird in a cage, which is horribly cruel.
From what I know, they don't keep them in the cages. They're like out in the house and they walk around. And there was a coworker of mine when I was working on the political campaign. I don't know if it was a toucan, but he had birds that were going to live forever. And he brought them into work, and they would be on his shoulder. And when they needed to take a dump, they'd go into the cage and dump and then come back out.
Oh, interesting.
But they would be around the office. One of them bit me on the finger one time. They were pretty cool, though.
Yeah?
Yeah, they were out, like free range.
Yeah, if I got bit by a bird from a coworker that brought his bird into work, I'd be like, get your fucking bird out of here. Get your this shitty bird. I would go, oops, window open, goodbye. Like,
door open.
You're free now. Now you're really free. No, I mean, I don't get birds. We had birds.
I didn't get those birds.
Well, they died in my hand.
They were like linked soulmates or something like that. Where like one died,
Petey and PJ,
and then the other one died.
No. They weren't linked soul. Mom like cleaned with something that killed the bird, so they went.
I think Mom told me that it was like they were soulmates, and it's like no, you put bleach in the cage.
No, you. They were soulmates that I cleaned their cage.
Yeah, she cleaned the cage with bleach, and then like an hour later, she puts the birds back in.
She cleaned the cage with Windex, and the birds fucking ate it.
She had good intentions.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, who gives a fuck? They were just birds.
They were from PetSmart.
But yeah, I just don't feel like I don't think you get the connection with the bird because it's going to live too long. But I don't know. With dogs, it's like it seems cruel. I'm not saying they should live our whole lives, but like, can we give them 20? Can we squeeze 20?
Aubrey's got a family cat that's, I believe, 22, 23 years old.
There's no way that cat's still happy.
That cat is the grouchiest cat that's ever existed.
Yeah, because it's still alive.
It can't meow, which is a little sad, but it can hiss.
It can't meow.
It can't meow. When it meows, its mouth opens and nothing comes out. But then when you get too close and you want to try to pet it, it's like the spiciest hiss. And it's like, oh, it can hiss, so noise comes out of it, but it's not meowing.
Just have you guys considered killing your cat?
No. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to.
It's crazy how old that cat is. And it looks as old as it sounds.
Can you see the timer? Can you see how long we've been going for?
Let's take a look. We've been going for 1 hour and 2 minutes and 48 seconds.
We're at an hour, so we should probably wrap it up. This is fun.
Yeah.
It's good chatting.
It was good chatting.
You want to come back on later?
Yeah.
I got to do it. Well, we probably won't have you on back-to-back weeks, but like anytime you're in LA. My thing with the podcast, I don't want to do like virtual guests. Like I like doing it in person. I think I just suck doing
virtual. Sucks because it's like you can't talk at the same time as somebody else. There's times where we're both talking, but in virtual, it's like I can't hear you. If I'm talking. Yeah,
it's just not as natural a conversation. But but the point is like like you should come on and hang out on the podcast sometime.
For sure,
it's fun.
I want to.
Did you have a good time?
Loved it.
I didn't even tell you that I almost got in a fight a week ago.
You did yesterday.
Oh, I did tell you about it?
Yeah.
Okay, well then
the guy that accused your dog
don't tell them. I don't want them to know.
Oh, okay.
No, I do want them. I don't care. I just thought it would have been a good story. I was like, I came in being like, I'll probably end up talking about almost fighting somebody.
Well, I want to come on the podcast, do this again. This was awesome.
Yeah, it was really fun. All right, later.
Love you.
You say love you? I can't not say love you.
You have to say it back. I said it with the hope that you would say it back.
You said love you. I was like, later.
Dad does that sometimes.
Dad does that all the time.
Yeah, but sometimes he says it.
Yeah, but he always says it when it's wrong for the conversation.
Right.
I'll be like, yeah, man, the Eagles suck. He's like, all right, I gotta go, love you. And I'm like, what? But then I'll be like talking about like how like, you know, it's like maybe we do move back to Maryland. Maybe it is time for a kid. All right, Dad, I gotta go. Love you. And he's like, yeah,
Right,
bye. Yeah, like,
Aubrey sometimes
just can't.
She'll be like, he said it. He said he loved you. And I'm like, he says it a lot. I'm like, he says it a lot.
He does say it a lot. I don't think he said it nearly as much when we were growing up, but I think he says it more now.
Nobody hung up without an I love you more than Grandma Jacob. She used to hang up on me before I could even say goodbye. It was infuriating.
Grandma Jacob would.
I don't think she fully understand how phone calls work.
So she would say, I love you, and then hang up?
No, I love you.
Yeah.
Never. She would just hang up on me.
Grandma Jacob, I feel like she said, I love you.
No. Not on a phone. She said it to my face constantly.
Person, yeah.
But over the phone, like I think it was like the phone for her was like I think she was still counting minutes. Like she was on a minute plan. So like the 30 to 20 seconds it takes you to say I love you and then I love you back, Grandma had no time for it.
Yeah.
I remember Mom made a comment about it and was like, it was infuriating to her too, where, you know, like right at the end of a conversation, you have one more thing you need to say. Like, oh, and by the way, this and this, don't forget.
Yeah.
Grandma was gone 20 seconds before Mom remembered the things she needed to say to her, but never an I love you from Grandma on the phone.
Yeah.
In person for sure. But Grandma just, I'd be like, yeah, so things are good. Well, it was great talking, Grandma. Click. I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah, once you said that, it actually kind of triggered a memory of her doing it to me, too.
Like, oh.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, do you say I love you to your friends now? I started saying it to my friends.
I say it to pretty much all my friends. I definitely say it to Mike, Andre, Dane, Hooper. Yeah, those
all
guys.
fans of the pod, by the way.
Yeah, those are my guys. I definitely tell them, you know, love you. I try to keep the I out of it. It's a little too lovey-dovey.
Yeah.
But you know, I'll
do you ever go? Daddy loves you to your friends.
Daddy like you.
Daddy
want you.
Daddy loves
needy.
you. Daddy lovey.
Daddy lovey.
You really say daddy a lot.
What's wrong with daddy?
Everything. It's weird.
After this podcast, I'm gonna put you in a chokehold and make you. I'll be your daddy.
Stop with the fucking. Daddy.
I don't know what's so weird about it.
I don't know, man. It's we don't got to get into it. Your lady's right there. I don't like that guys use it.
What about
in the moment? You know what I'm saying?
But what about like your
when
kids?
they're in there.
You like it's just
Dad.
It's dad. It's like to an infant.
Look, daddy to a young child is
like
fine.
An infant, like a kid that just started talking. Daddy.
The second my kid shits in the toilet by themselves, I'm gonna go, it's dad now. You're not.
I don't know what's so weird about it. I really don't.
I don't know why. I don't like it. I don't want to be.
What about mommy?
Nah.
Like a little kid going, mommy, can I have a Cheerios?
Again, once, I'd go.
It's like, okay, yeah, here's your Cheerios. Like, what's so weird about that?
What's wrong with mom?
But like, it's like the formal version of
I like a formal mom or dad.
You seem not like a formal guy, so
I don't know what mommy and daddy. It just sounds like little kid talk. It's like little baby talk.
But that's okay. Well,
but once you're not a baby anymore. Once you're not a baby. Well, I think I said the right thing.
I have to delete the words from my vocab.
No,
don't say daddy. Don't say mommy.
I don't think you should say daddy and mommy.
I really don't say mommy. I got to be honest. I definitely don't say mommy.
Mommy's rough.
But daddy slips out every so often.
Sometimes it's a joke. I will call dad daddy. I'll say, "What's up, daddy?" And he'll go, "Don't do that."
You know, I believe that.
Sometimes
don't do that.
Sometimes it's funny to call him daddy. You should try that.
I think I will.
Oh, yeah, it's funny, but you got to do it like right up top of the conversation. Just try to sneak in. It's a good.
You know what I do call him? I do call him Daddy-O.
I call him
What's
that.
up, Daddy-O? I think Stephanie does that too.
I've called him Daddy-O. I've been calling myself Papo lately. I think that's funny.
I also call dad and mom by their first names.
You do not.
I do.
You say Fred and Gabby to your own. That's weird.
Yeah.
That's weirder than mommy and daddy.
Well, here's the thing. Mom and I now overlap in a different realm because, let's say, networking wise in Poolsville, I don't call her mom when we're out in Poolsville with her friends, Jim's friends. I'll be like, Jim, Gabby, do you guys want a drink? I'm not like, Jim, mommy, Do you want a beer?
You would never say
That's
mommy.
why I don't say
you
it.
would say
I say
mom.
Gabby.
You would say mom, Jim, mom. You guys want to drink?
Dearest mother, would you like
No, you just say
beverage from the bar?
Stop it.
No, I'm like,
to lose
hey,
mommy
Jim,
does
Gabby.
not mean you have to talk like a character from Wuthering Heights. You just say
But
mom.
you were also receiving text messages from me that I was saying Jim and Gabby. Like in my text messages to the group recently, I was saying Jim and Gabby. I wasn't saying Jim and mom.
Yeah.
I do call dad Fred, depending if we're with, like, for example, Aubrey and I are going to London and having dinner at the, where are we having dinner, Obs? No. House of Lords.
The House of Lords.
Yeah, we're having dinner in London at the House of Lords. I'm not going to be calling dad. I'm going to be calling him Fred.
Yeah, I would still.
In front of.
I would call him Captain Dad.
No, he's major.
Was he made? Did he make Lieutenant Colonel?
No.
In my head, he always made Lieutenant Colonel.
No,
But
that was Uncle Rich.
Well, Uncle Rich went higher than Lieutenant Colonel.
I thought he was just a colonel. He never higher than colonel is general. He never made general.
Uncle Rich, he made a superior admiral.
I think admiral's in the Navy.
It is.
Yeah.
No, I thought Dad made the Lieutenant Colonel, but he didn't. He said he was major.
He was a major.
Okay.
Yeah,
I have to ask him that.
Dad was for sure. It's a maple. It's like a maple leaf.
Is this for sure that it was daddy tax? Because that for sure fucking ended up in the toilet.
Just because Anna says so. So Anna's, Anna knows all.
Hey man, you were fucking selling it like it was the dumbest thing in the world for me to think it was dad tax.
Hey, I accepted my loss 30 minutes ago when Aubrey came forward.
We have to go.
No, okay, yeah, we're pushing
I did this on the first podcast. I said it was an hour, and then we went an hour 20 because I couldn't end it. 'Cause I'm having fun. It's hard when you're having fun.
Yeah, this is a
Sometimes
good
in
time.
life, it's hard to end a good time.
Yeah, no, agreed.
But it's over now.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Love you.
Love you. Bye.